Okay, when I started to prepare for this presentation, I was like really surprised by the fact how many CEOs and how many companies claim they are innovative, effective, that they are digital disruptors, that this disruption, innovation is in their DNA. I was thinking, okay, but what do they say when they claim it is in their DNA? It's not about the fact that they have some like special genes or something. They just try to tell us that innovation and effectiveness, digital disruption, is at the very core of what they do. So in fact, innovation and effectiveness is meta. It's a metaphor, because we're living in a world full of metaphors to explain and define the world we're living in. Okay, but let's leave the metaphor aside and focus on what DNA really is. DNA, in most simple words, is an information. Information that is really great to investigate because of two things. On one hand, it covers an information that makes us who we are as a species. It connects us all. On the other hand, DNA is an information that makes us all individuals and covers the things which are unique to all of us. So to understand DNA, let's go to the DNA timeline. It is said that we as Homo sapiens are at least 200,000 years old, and each of the boxes reflect 1,000 years, and there are 200 of them you can count. It started at least 200,000 years ago, and this is now. Dark blue ones are those where we were only gatherers and hunters. Around 12,000 years ago, in Göbekli Tepe in today's Turkey, people started to count stone and build monolithic structures. Only 5,000 years ago, we invented writing. 500 years ago, around, the Middle Ages ended, and new types of human organizations emerged. 100 years ago, this is the yellow one on top, electricity became popular, and there's one invisible line which you cannot see in this perspective, which reflects the age of the internet. And around 50s, we aimed to innovate. And currently, maybe we think sometimes that this is our natural environment, technologically advanced cities of the future. But in fact, this is our natural environment as human beings, fighting for survival and trying to compete with the predators that can attack us. From the evolutionary perspective, just a blink on the eye, just seconds ago, we are aiming at fighting the imperfection and going for innovation, disruption, and being effective. So this is only a thing which was invented from the evolutionary perspective very, very early. Our primitive human brain covered 5 items which I collected here. So at basic level, we as human beings have at least many problems within their effectiveness, but I just listed 5. We have problem with low efficiency of multitasking, because through the evolution we are supposed to do simple tasks only. We have tendency to take easier tasks first, because our brain likes to be rewarded and can be rewarded the fastest way with what we can complete the first. We have communication issues, because generally language is a new innovation to us as a species. We are not knowing the progress and dependencies on complex projects, because for the evolutionary period we did only simple things. And what Steve told us during the first presentation today, it is really hard to say no to somebody who is higher in the hierarchy, because of the fact that we were used to live in a hierarchical primitive societies. This primitive human brain created ineffective current nowadays organizations. And those I listed here 5 problems, which are quite common and quite popular within the organization, even currently. We have the conflict between ASAPs and work plan. We have the problem which is really discussed today between employee monitoring and trust, the problem of endless upgrades and improvements to what we do. We have the small task problem, so taking only small things which can fill up all our working day. And we have big projects that take months, years, or maybe decades. So then the Scrum came. And now what I would like to convince you is that Scrum and the elements of Scrum are designed to address the inefficiencies we have, both on individual level and both on organizational level. I'm perfectly sure that you know Scrum by book, so the 3 laws, 5 events, and 3 artifacts, and we will just assign the numbers to all of these here, so that we can see how the elements of Scrum address the inefficiencies, first at our individual level. The first one, the low efficiency of multitasking. And this is the aim of the Scrum Master, who should advise his or her team to limit work in progress. We have sprint and the sprint goal to set the focus for our work not to be distracted. Communication issues, this is really great. At the heart of the review and retrospective is to fix this problem. During demo, we're showing the actual software we created to our customers because of the fact that we might miss something on the way. And during retrospective, we're communicating within the team whether missed something within our internal team process. When it comes to not knowing the progress and the dependencies, we have the development team, which are subject matter experts in the field and can know the actual work that is being done. We also have daily Scrum to inspect and adapt on the progress we're doing within our current iteration. And for the last one, it's hard to say no. It's always hard to say no when your boss comes to you and tells you to do something. This is why Scrum has a separate role for product owner, because when you already know within the team that you cannot deliver something within a sprint, you tell it to a member of your team. And then it's up to him or her and the braveness of the person to go to the stakeholders and communicate it to them. When it comes to our organizational DNA, it's really the same. The conflict between ASAPs and the work plan is covered by the elements mentioned. And the most important thing is the scope of the sprint within our sprint backlog. So it defines the work plan, and whenever the ASAP comes to the team, it's about reprioritizing the backlog we're having. The employee monitoring versus trust, this conflict is solved by the very essence of Scrum. We're doing a team that is responsible for their own work. And the teamwork within the development group, together with Scrum Master and Product Owner, should, by definition, solve this problem. So we are committing to achieving sprint goal together, and we're on it together. The endless upgrades, of course, we have our sprint planning, the product backlog, and the sprint backlog, which defines us what we will take now and what we will take later. Small task problem, it's up to product owner whether small improvements and small things we should cover are our top priorities or not. And the big projects are split into sprints so we can know where we are within our projects. This was for the benefits for Scrum, and not to make the world of Scrum so perfect, one disadvantage of the framework. Currently, we are every day bombarded with information. Our brain is overwhelmed with distractors, and it's getting used to it. We are currently, every day, every minute, distracted by all the things that come to us. And on the other side, we have Scrum that creates stable working environment with repeatable events, with the pace of work that should be really stable. And this makes up Scrum boring. And it's Scrum Master role to make it entertaining for the team and fun. Thank you so much. And I would love to get your feedback either in questions or get me up on
So now I will tell it in the beginning, so you can put your feedback in yellow cards. And we have a question. So can you explain the problem of endless upgrades?
Sure. The thing we're building, whether it's in IT field or any other, it can always get better. So at any point, your stakeholder may come and ask you to fix or improve something in a very small bit. And the problem with those endless improvements should be controlled within the work that is a product backlog item.
Mm-hmm. It was from Łukasz. Thanks, Łukasz. And Anonymous. So it's a tough question. It will only take a moment. Developers are saying that very often it's not only product owners' sin. Have you seen that? Also with the product owners?
Pardon?
The developers are saying it will take only a moment. And it's not only product owners' sin. Have you seen it said by the product owners?
Yes, it's actually like a natural thing we're having as a cognitive bias. When we are experts in any field, we tend to think that the work that is given to us is much simpler than it actually is. So within the discussion during the grooming or story pointing, it's about asking questions and verifying whether the estimates may be over-optimistic.
Okay, and the last one, what do you mean by Scrum Master is there to entertain the team?
It's not about entertaining the team really, but making the work not a series of events that are repeatable and find it boring, but that they can really attract people and engage them.
Okay, thanks Mateusz a lot.
Thank you.